Hey guys, welcome back. Now, do you remember the other day I did one big full flip cup, just the one on that square canvas in my Phoenix colors, blue, blue tones or cool tones and warm tones. This is it here. It's dry now. It's been a few days. Turned out really pretty. And I said to you, I'm going to do it again when I let my pouring medium sit, because I'd only just mixed it up and got all these little tiny little white dots from bubbles, because it was, I just mixed it. It was all frothy and bubbly. So as promised, I'm going to go again, same colors, but to just change it up a little bit, instead of doing the square canvas, I'm going to do the long one. This is a 30 by 40 centimeter, 12 by 16 inch, and I'm going to do 3 flips. I love flips. Flip and drags are my favorite thing to do. It's what I learnt on to do the flip cups. The flip and drags is what I learnt. So, yay! Now, pouring medium. Half Elmer's glue oil to water. So 1 part glue, 1 part water, and then 1 part pouring medium to 1 part paint. Someone's growling under the table. Can you stop that, please? I'm trying to video. So the paints I'm using, as usual, are the Montmartre acrylics. That's the medium yellow. They also do I think it's called lemon yellow, but it's a little bit too bright. That's that one there. The red is the Brilliant Red. This one here is orange with a bit of yellow, just to warm it up just a bit, because the orange is a bit bright. And then we've got phthalo blue and turquoise and white. Now, consistency. It really doesn't matter what paint brand you're using. It does matter what pouring medium you're using. It does, because certain pouring mediums make weird cells, like Floetrol makes weird shaped cells. GAC 800 makes weird shaped cells. I like my glue and water. I've been doing this for like 4 years now, and that's what I think is the best, but that's my opinion. Right, let's have a little look. I'll just pick this one on the end here. I don't know if you can see. I'm going to try. Do you remember a while back my 8-second rule? Let's see if it works. So what you're going to do is get a big scoop, and we're going to hold it up and count and see how long it takes until that trace breaks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And on command, it broke. Did you see that? Hopefully you saw that. So that's my consistency that I like for the flip cups. Okay, I'm not going to do it to all of them. I have checked them all. Some of them they broke at 6. I added a bit of water. Right, now that that's said and done, let's move on. I'm using the Spot On Treadmill Silicone for cells. It's nice thin oil. I don't like the really thick oils. I find you get really how can I explain it? The cells don't stay nice and round. They kind of move because the oil is so thick. It allows them to move more, and sometimes they sort of stretch out of shape, whereas I find that the Spot On being thinner tends to keep the shape better. Like the dimethicone, which you can find in the coconut milk hair serum. It's not coconut milk that you get from the supermarket. It's the coconut hair serum that you put on your hair, like to condition it. So don't go and put coconut milk in your paints. I wonder if anyone's ever done that and going, oh, that doesn't work. But basically, look, if you can't get the treadmill silicone, I buy it from eBay. I think it comes from the States. It cost me about $60 with shipping, but a bottle like that, will last you years. You're only using a few drops at a time. So I think it's worth the investment if you can find it. It will last you a very, very long time. So good investments, hey? Let's mix all these in really well. And the last one. They all feel pretty much the same. Some paints are a bit thicker than others. Even though it's the same brand, you'll find some paints are thicker than others, and you might have to add a little bit more water. Right, that's done. Now, let's get to layering. Now, if you don't want to watch me layer paint, if you know how to do it, feel free to move on and catch up with you when I'm ready to flip. So I want to do 2 layers. So basically you want to use half of the paint. I don't know if that's quite half. Half of the paint in the first layer, and then the other half in the second layer. and I just try to just drizzle it over the top. So don't pour a whole heap in, it's just going to drop straight to the bottom. Just sort of try and drizzle it lightly over the top. So as you can see, I'm keeping my two blue colors, my cool colors over here. I'm separating them with white. The white I'm keeping away from the red because I don't want pink. Sort of blues and oranges tend to go a little bit brown sometimes, so you just got to be careful of that. Obviously the blue and the yellow are going to make a green, which I'm okay with. The red and the yellow will make their own shade of orange. Probably get a little bit of pink in there from the red and the white. But yeah, just be aware of what colours your choice of colours will make, because it is a liquid and they are going to all blend together. I started at the other end with that one because this cup is always not full enough. When I start up here, this one always tends to get more. Alrighty-o. Nearly done with the first layer. So I'll do a flip and drag, and then I think I will cover half the canvas, like tilt and cover half the canvas, and then torch, and then cover the other half of the canvas. That way I'm not overstretching my cells by torching early and then stretching them all the way over to that side to cover it, and then all the way over here to cover the canvas. I'm only going to stretch them once to cover one half of the canvas, so they'll probably be a little bit smaller in size, but I think they'll be a nicer shape. And you know me, I prefer quality over quantity. I don't mind if they're a little bit smaller, as long as they're pretty and nicely shaped and got different colors in them. Right, so that's the turquoise done. So it's easier to drizzle now because the paint's higher up in the cup. It doesn't have as far to drop down, so it is easier. And I've also tried to separate my paints in specific density, like the white and the turquoise. This one are both going to be opaque colors, and I think the others are all semi-transparents. As far as I know, Mott don't do a transparent. I wish they would, but it's just opaque or semi-transparent, and the newer bottles tell you that on the side of the bottle, whether they're opaque or semi-transparent. I think you can pretty much get Mott worldwide now, pretty much. I think it's just a good all-round kind of paint. It's well priced. If you buy the 2-litre bottles, it goes a long way. You can have a look on their website and see which countries stock it. You might be able to get some in. In Australia we don't have all the colours. There's many more colours out there. The rest of the world's got them, but Australia doesn't, which is really weird because it's an Australian company. I don't know whether the paints are actually manufactured and bottled in Australia, but it's an Australian company. I know that much. Alright, nearly done, you guys. Thanks for being patient. I know it's a bit boring doing this, but it's important. I should try one actually, you know, when I just pour the colours down the side. Shall we try that one day and see if we get a different outcome? Because that's so much quicker. And if you're not good at drizzling paint, then that might be the option for you. So maybe I can do that. Does anyone want to see that? Like, you know how you just pour the colour down the sides? Let me know if that's something that you want to see. And we could just see if we actually get a different effect or not. It might not be any different at all, I don't know. But if it's no different, then it would probably be a good idea, because this is very time consuming. Just want to get all the paint out. So what I've done here, I've made up around 700 grams of mixed paint. you want to know what that is in ounces, divide 700 by 30 and it'll tell you how many ounces it is. I can't tell you that off the top of my head, I'm sorry. But I made 60 grams of pouring medium, 60 grams of paint, so that's 120 grams by 7 colours, so it's just over 700 grams. I think it's 720 to be exact, if my maths is any good. Okay, let's move these off to the side. I'm going to flip them over, and they're not too full, so you know it should be relatively easy to flip. Now when you flip, put put 2 fingers under there. Don't hold it like this. You're going to be too heavy-handed, you're going to end up crushing it. Just put your 2 fingers underneath, hold it lightly, bring your elbow in, elbow across to your chest like that, and just flip like that. That's all you're doing. I know it sounds easy, doesn't it? Everyone's going, yeah, it's easy for her. Yeah, but I've been practicing. You should have seen my first flips. If you go too slow, as you're flipping, the paint just splashes everywhere. So it's just practice. Practice with an empty cup. When I was doing my workshops, and I've had to put them on pause at the moment because of COVID, but when I was doing my workshops, my students practiced with an empty cup first, and also with the drag with an empty cup. Just practice, get the feel of it, see how you go. I have sprayed these cups with a little bit of silicone spray just to help them release when I do flip the cups and the paint spreads out. Alrighty, oh, it looks so pretty. I hope it's going to work. See this one here, I mean, even though it's pretty, it's got a lot of blue. Like the background's got a lot of blue. I think that's because, actually no, I don't know. I don't know why. It just is. It's very blue. So we'll see what we get. I don't know. I was going to say I started at this end, but that one actually I started at that end. I started with the orange. So that was on top, so I don't know why that one's a lot of blue. But anyway, all right, enough of me chatting. Sounds like I've got verbal diarrhea today, doesn't it? Yabba, yabba, yabba. Let's do this. Flip and drag. Put a little bit of paint on your corners. If you've got anything left in your cup, you can pop it on your corners. Don't put any leftovers through the center, because look see how stripy and kind of muddy it is. You want that beautiful blending of color, so don't do it. Just let the paint fall out. Oh, look at those colors. Look at those colors. And then leftover paint, just pop it on the corner. It's going to get tipped over anyway, so doesn't really matter. Wow, look at that one's got so much red and this one's got more blue. It's just weird how it does that. Don't fall off. And over the corner. Now, as you can see at the bottom section here, where the dregs come out of the cup, I think they must fall from there and drop down. So always get that icky bit there. So the icky bit's going to go off first. So I'll turn the canvas around. Just wipe my hands again. Turn the canvas around. Look at those cells. And then I can tip that off first, because we don't want those bits, do we? I've got my corner catcher organised. Alright, but I don't think I'll use the corner catcher on these because I want the corners to actually go. So we'll see what happens. We'll just walk the paint gently, because I need to cover this side here as well. And you want that side covered before you lose too much paint from everywhere else. So that's going, that's okay. I might just do this to stop a lot of paint going over, and I'm just going to touch the side there and get rid of that paint. See that's gone, and I brought it straight back again. So over here as well, take your hands right around, don't go over the top in case you drip something. So into the corner, I'm going to let a little bit of that go. And I'm going to come back. So just let enough go. Looks like there's a blob of unmixed paint in there. Always the way. My paints are getting a bit old now. Oh, that looks amazing. I'm going to wipe my hands again. Wow, that is so different from just the one flip cup. Right, got clean gloves now. I can pick up my big boy torch. And you know the drill. Nice and high. Don't go too close. Don't want to get big clusters of cells. Keep it up nice and high. Always come back and do a few more rounds. It takes a few seconds for the heat to transfer down, and then the oil wants to come to the surface. You know how oil sits on the surface of water? It wants to come up, and it's going to bring different colors with it as it comes through all those different layers of paint that we've made. So nice and slow with your torch. Don't get too close. Got a little bit close in that corner there. I say that every time, but look, it's hard. Like, I still get too close, so I don't see things happening, and then you get like a centimetre closer, half an inch closer, and then you're too close. But as I said, just go slow. You come around again, get the areas that you've missed. I'm going really slow today, trying my best not to overdo it. I think my orange, either the orange or the red's a bit thick there. I'm not getting much through there. One of them looks a bit thick. I'll try for in this turquoise here a little bit more, and a bit in there. I know it's hard for you because you can't see where I'm aiming at with my torch. I'm happy to torch again, like after I've tilted, I might torch again. Not really getting anything through there. I'll leave it. I don't want to get too close and then, you know, you get cells all the way around it. So not too bad, not too bad. There's a little caterpillar just there. When your mix is a bit on the thick side, what you tend to do is you tend to go too close with your torch because you're really trying to get those cells up. But the mix is too thick. So where your mix is too thick and you've gone a little bit too close, that's when your caterpillars tend to come up. In my experience, that's when I get them. Let me see if I can zoom you in a little bit now that we've done that. Mix the colours and everything. See if we can bring you in a bit closer. Okay, there we go. Not too close, otherwise you won't be able to see the tilting. Right, it's really bright. Oh my gosh. See how you get stripes when you do your flip and drag because you're dragging the paint down? I can't get my gloves back on now. They're all sweaty. So you get those stripes. Whereas when you just do the one big flip cup, you don't get the stripes. You just get that blurred sort of black background. Blended, not blurred. Blended. Okay, now I don't need the corner catcher again because I'm going to go over the corners. Are we ready? Ready, spaghetti? Now, there's quite a lot of red over here. I might try and take a little bit more of that off just so that everything's more kind of centered. So, we'll see what happens. So basically, the weight of the paint's down here because you've just tilted over here. So don't go straight down. You want to walk your paint left and right, that way the cells stretch that way, they stretch that way, and they stretch down at the same time so that they're all going round at once. If you just went straight, the cells would just do that and you get long skinny cells. So just walk the paint, and I'm going to try and walk it down this way, as I said, a little bit more so I can get rid of some of that red. Now over here, you can help your paint along. You can just wet the edge there. That'll make it want to like be pulled over a little bit easier. I do want to go over this corner though, I think. Actually, somebody had a good idea. I don't know who it was. Last time when I had that yucky corner that I didn't like. Actually, oh, you know what? I've been showing you the wrong painting. You're probably all going, that doesn't look anything like it, you stupid woman. Oh, I'm sorry. It's sitting right next to the other one. It's not that one at all. Oh my gosh. It's this one. How silly am I? Sorry. That's it. And that was that corner that I didn't like. And somebody said on the comments in the description, they said, get a straw and just blow lightly with it. So I don't know. I don't know whether that would work. It might sort of make long lines. But anyway, that's it. So sorry. Oh, what was I thinking? I just grabbed the first one that was sitting there. See, I got the same thing there. But look how bright it is. Oh my gosh. Oh, I can't remember the last time I did something this bright and beautiful. Now let's see if we can. I don't know if I'm going to actually go over that corner. I might just do that just to. I'm just touching the very top of the red paint just to kind of. That worked. Smudge it over the edge. All right, let's see if we can. What do we want to do? Do we want to do anything else? I don't really think we want to do anything else. I think that's just beautiful the way it is. Now, I know there's a lot of paint dropped. Don't yell at me for dropping paint. You have to have a lot of paint on your surface if you want to do a really pretty flip cup. It's just how it is. I'm just going to bring the weight of the paint back to the middle and go over here a little bit. And then back. And back up that way. Okay, I think that's it. Just wanted to open these up. So if you do want to go somewhere over here, you need to bring the paint back, the weight of the paint back to there, and then tilt. There's no point tilting it if all the paint's up here, is there? Oh wow, that is so pretty. I'm not even going to torch again on that. That is amazing, if I do say so myself. Wowzers. It's been a while since I've done a really pretty one like that. I'm just swiping my hands again. So I'm going to show you the other one, the one flip cup. I can't believe I showed you the wrong painting. Oh look, there's some paint I can take off there. Put it there. Just get my corners covered. And then I'll take you down. Just try and pick up a little bit of corresponding colour, what you think's going to match. Run your palette knife or your finger underneath to catch the drips, because the weight of those drips are going to keep pulling the paint off the canvas. And you don't want it to do that. You want it just to stay where it is. A little bit of blue just there. And underneath. Alright, so getting back to the amount of paint that you need. I know it seems a lot, but you saw how it works. You have to have enough to stretch everything out over the surface of the canvas. If you don't have enough, then you really have to like stretch everything out to get over there, and then it's all stretched. But if you have a lot of paint, you can move the paint easily, and the cells just sit on top and go, whee, off we go, and you know, they go all over the canvas. But if you don't have enough, they can't do that, and then they'll just be really overstretched. Right, leave it at that. That is so pretty. It's very similar to the previous one. I'll show you again the correct one this time. It is similar, but that one hasn't got the stripes. It's just the blended background, and we go from red up here to light blue to dark blue. But you can see all the dots from, can I touch that with my glove? You can see all the dots, the white dots from the bubbles. Oops, I'm leaving marks on it. Okay, so that's that one. That was the one flip cup, and this is the 3 flip and drags. So you can see the difference. Which do you prefer? That one's got the bigger cells, because after I flipped, I torched straight away. So when I tilted this way, they stretched, and when I tilted that way, they stretched again. Whereas with this one, the cells are smaller because I covered half first, well actually that half first, then I torched, then I only had to tilt once. So they've only stretched one way, whereas the other one has stretched both ways. Does that make sense to you? I hope so. I'm exhausted after all that talking. Hopefully you've learnt something. All right, let's go down and have a little look at it. It's really pretty. Colours are amazing. Getting back to colours, if your mix is too thick, you won't have really bright colours like this with the rings with other colours in them. It'll be more sort of maybe blurry or furry looking. Look at those, the turquoise with the red around it. I'll try and go a little bit slower so you can see the cells. Look at that. That one has got turquoise, orange, red, yellow, and then some more colours in the middle. It's got lots of colours in it. So that's what I like, is lots of colours in my cells. And then I know that they're working really well together. Red background. There's a little triple cell. That's kind of like what your GAC cells look like when they're joined together like that. Kind of like that, two little kidney beans together. But it will do what it wants to do, and I think it's beautiful regardless. Little tiny stripies on the corner there. I don't mind it, it's only little. No one's going to look at it and go, your painting's ugly because you've got stripy corners. Hopefully they won't anyway. So there we go. There she is. Hope you enjoyed that video. Hope you learned something about paint consistency and flip and drags. And I'm going to get cleaned up. I'm going to go and sit with my doggies for a little while. I've got a new puppy born yesterday. I'm going to go and sit with Mum. She doesn't want to sit with baby, she wants to sit with me, so I can't leave her too long, unfortunately, just for the first few days until her hormones settle. So I'm going to go and do that, and I'm going to do a resin pour this afternoon. Busy, busy, busy. Loving it though, and I love all your comments and support, so thank you so much. And I'll see you for the next one. Okay, bye for now.